Hello everyone, today's video is going to be my fall palettes. I only have I think 7 to show you guys that really scream fall to me. My summer palette video is my second most viewed video on my channel, which sounds completely insane to me. I was not expecting that video to get popular on my channel, but it is, and I'm gonna take it as that. But I will leave my summer palettes down below, and I will also leave my spring palettes down below, and I don't believe I did a winter one. That will be coming up most likely in December, my winter palettes. It is September, and it is the epiphany of fall. It does not feel like fall though. It is hot. It's like in the 80s this week and I can't stand it. And my fall decor has been up since technically like August 28th. So I'm all in the fall mood. I have like a sultry fall-ish eye on today. I'm wearing red, which I wear red all year round, but you know, colors. How do I specify a fall palette? I'm thinking grungier tones. I'm thinking earthy tones. You look outside, you see reds, you see yellows, you see oranges, you see lots of green, you see lots of brown, like earthy tones, muted tones, like you have mauves and things like that. The two palettes that came in the top of my head are the FantasyCosmetica Bard and Druid palettes. These are both old packaging. The new packaging looks so much better, by the way. And the new packaging also has magnetic pans. But Druid is actually the one that I just finished my 3 looks 1 palette with, which was my last video, and I'll link that one down below. I did 3 fall looks with this palette, so I'll leave that link down below. And then I have the Bard palette. This is probably the more wearable one. I might do like a Halloween palette bingo or something with this. That would be neat because of the oranges, but this is more on my spectrum of preferred color stories. But I love both of these palettes. The formula is amazing. I have my Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and then I have the My Dream palette. You will not see my Odin's Ihila palette. Just the tones in that palette to me call more spring. You have the lighter and brighter greens. I feel like the Yucca palette overall is more toned down, earthy. Like you have a lot of these like earthy, warm browns. You have this like murky greens here. To me, this just calls for more earth. You take these 2 colors out. These are bright, but the rest of it is pretty like subdued and toned down, which I love. This palette is beyond gorgeous. I'm so glad I got it. And this is where I would describe the toned down, the muted colors, kind of like what I'm wearing today. It's dark and it's murky, which is how I think of fall in my brain. But this is also pretty murky. You have these like browns, and that's a dark brown. Just overall some murky colors. You got some of these cranberry purple colors over here. Just muted shades in general. I love this palette and I want to use it a lot more often in the fall time. This one, I think it really depends on the person. So many people think it's a spring palette, where people like me think it's more of a fall palette. And that is my ABH Norvina. The sucker is old, but it is one of my all-time favorite palettes in my collection that has held the test of time. In my opinion, this is a fall palette. I don't know how you guys see it as a spring palette. Like rose gold and dazzling in summer, these are all really, I mean, they're stunning on the lid, but they are this rich, muted color. That doesn't sound right, but it's right. It's just, I don't know how you cannot see this as a fall palette. And I really want to use this some more in the fall. I just have so many palettes. And I did do a very small palette declutter, which none of those that I did in that palette declutter would have fell into this color story concept of fall eyeshadows. But I did declutter my other ABH palette, and so this bad boy is the only one in my collection, and it'll stay the only one in my collection. I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about this palette. I don't think I've ever seen anybody show it in like an eyeshadow palette collection video, and I watch a lot of those. I watch them on repeat all the time, but I have never ever seen anybody talk about this palette, and it is the BH 1991. It was in collaboration with, I believe, Alicia Marie. First off, packaging's gorgeous. It screams me. You got the pink accents, but the black with the like the black roses, it is gorgeous. And then on the inside, it is black with the pink outlines on the roses. This is the color story of this palette. I will 110% do a 3 looks 1 palette video with this, probably in October, because this one just does not get nowhere near enough use from me in my collection. You have the mauve cool tone pinky shades, you had the brown, how would you call this, like a mustard yellow, it's gorgeous. You have like a murky green shade, a cranberry, like these are just super pretty. And then this white color, it's one of those ones that like shifts, oh there you go, it like shifts yellow in the light, but it's a pretty sheer color, and then it just shifts in the light. I don't hear anybody talk about this, and I can't say anything because I don't use it as often as I should, but I did get this at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of the two, when BH was kind of going under. It was a little wishy-washy with them, and like everything they ever made and produced was in a TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And that's when I got this palette, because I just loved the color story. I have not used it enough. This hasn't gotten used yet this year, probably because I only think to reach for it in the fall. But we will definitely do a 3 looks 1 palette video with this. It desperately deserves it. And this palette, I didn't think about until I watched, I believe it was Erica Conger, I'll link her down below. She did her fall palette video. If I'm thinking correctly, that is who I am referring to, is that video. But the NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. This one, it covers a lot of gamuts, okay? But most of the palette, I think, is more fall. You literally have this whole section. I feel like if you got rid of like half the palette, that is straight fall. And then you have like these darker tones. This purple, if you somehow figure out how to pull this off with these like mustard and warm browns in the crease to make some sultry like Halloween look, that would look neat. And this purple shade, it holds its own. Look at that. That's a good look idea. I don't know if I use this shade yet this year or not, but to try and make an orange and purple sort of look for Halloween, that would be fun. But like most of this palette, I think just scream fall time. Those were my 7 eyeshadow palettes that I would deem to be a fall palette, but I wanted them to be true fall palettes, the ones that I think of when I think of the season of fall. What are your favorite fall palettes? I would love to know. Again, I will have all the videos and things that I talked about, the people I talked about, in the description box as always. I love and appreciate every one of you for coming to watch my channel, the ones who comment and like and subscribe. I appreciate and love all of you guys. Please do all the things, and I shall see you guys next time.